I stared at my phone for 7 minutes. Not texting back was harder than saying something stupid. Hey, I'm Nivedhitha, and this is the sound of small things. A quiet space for soft stories and overlooked moments. Today's story is about silence. A message I didn't send, a moment that felt louder than anything I could have said. It was just a short message. 5 words. Hey, how have you been? I saw it while I was brushing my teeth. The phone lit up on the sink. I didn't even hear the notification, just the glow on the screen. And the name, his name. And for a second, I forgot how to breathe. I hadn't spoken to him in 6 months. Not because of a fight. There was no final scene, no door slamming, just quiet and space and time that stretched too far to pull back. I dried my hands, picked up the phone, opened the message, then I opened the keyboard and I typed, Hey, I'm okay. Paused, deleted, typed again. Hey, it's been a while. Deleted that too. Typed just an emoji, the half smile, gone. Nothing felt right. I kept thinking, if I text back, what does it mean? Am I reopening something? Or just being polite? What if he's texting because he misses me? And what if he's texting because he doesn't? What it was just boredom, a late night thought, an accidental nostalgia trip bought on by some old playlist or a movie we once watched. I thought about all the versions of us, the early laughing us, the long texting till 3 a.m. us, the silent us, and the version of us we never got to become. I remembered the last time we spoke, not the words, but the feeling. That strange drifting apart that happens so quietly, you don't even know it's happening until you're standing on opposite shores. And suddenly, it wasn't just about replying. It felt like choosing a path, like saying, Yes, I still think about you, or No, I have moved on. Except I hadn't. Not really, I typed hey again, then just stared at the blinking cursor. It felt alive, like it was waiting to. I watched it blink like a heartbeat, like hesitation personified. I even imagined what his face looked like when he sent it. Was he nervous? Was it casual? Did he stare at his screen after pressing send, wondering if I'd reply? Did he care? What would happen if I replied and the conversation fizzled? What if it didn't? What if it pulled me back into that fragile space I had barely escaped from? My brain started playing tricks on me. I saw old messages, half remembered calls, the sound of his laugh, all of it come back like echoes in an empty room. I missed it, but I didn't trust it. I stared at the screen for 7 minutes. I timed it later. 7 whole minutes of nothing, just blinking, thinking, backspacing. At one point, I laughed, the soft, bitter kind. Because how could 5 words feel like a cliff edge? Then I put the phone down, face down, like it was staring at me too hard. I walked to the kitchen, poured water, waited for the noise in my head to go down. But it didn't, because not replying didn't feel strong. It didn't feel powerful. It just felt sad. Sad and unfinished. Like closing a book before the last chapter. Not because you're done, but because you're scared of how it ends. The silence wasn't blank. It had weight, like all the things I wanted to say were still echoing in my chest, waiting. Like that 5 word message had opened a door and I chose to walk away from it without peeking inside. I spent the whole night wondering what silence meant. Was it kind or was it cold? Was I protecting myself or just avoiding something that might have hurt less than I imagined? I still don't know. But I never replied and he never texted again. In the days that followed, I kept checking my phone, not to reply, just to see if maybe he'd say something else. A follow up like a question mark, a meme, a song, anything. But there was nothing. Just that one message sitting quietly like a forgotten bookmark in a story we stopped reading. And every time I saw it, something inside me whispered, "You're the one who left it hanging." I started imagining alternative versions of the night. What if I had replied? Would we have fallen into conversation the way we used to? Would it have been awkward at first and then slowly softened like a thawing snow? Or would it have been just that 5 minutes of small talk and silence all over again? And what if it went well? What if we laughed again? What if I remembered what it felt like to be seen by him? Really seen. Would that have made it harder to let go again if I had to? Sometimes the hardest thing isn't choosing between holding on or letting go. It's not knowing which one you're doing. There were nights I almost typed out an explanation. Not for him, for me. Something simple like, "I didn't know what to say," or "I thought about replying, I really did, but I didn't send that either." Because there's no perfect way to explain absence. There's no pretty way to wrap silence in words. And maybe that's okay. Maybe some stories aren't about what happened, they're about what didn't. They're about the missed calls, the unsent replies, the what ifs that never grew into anything real. And yet, even in that nothingness, there's meaning. A strange kind of peace, like placing a period at the end of a sentence you never finished. Sometimes silence feels louder than anything we could say. That day, I wasn't brave enough to speak, but I was brave enough to hold back. I don't know if I did the right thing, but I remember the silence. I remember how it felt. Thanks for sitting with me in this small story. If this reminded you of a message you almost sent, you're not alone. I'm Nivedhitha and this was the sound of small things. I'll see you next time.